안녕하세요, 여러분입니다. So I wanted to share with you what happened when I got electrocuted. Yeah. So last Wednesday, the day before my 30th birthday, I was pulling out my laptop plug from the wall, and it has this adapter. If you search like universal adapters, you'll see like this big square box one. So I have that, and it's connected to one that's an American one to a Korean one, because that's the only way it will work for my laptop plug. So yeah, it's just pulling that out of the wall in the living room, and I was shocked. And I mean, it wasn't really that long, but I could feel warmth going up my arm. And so my arm started hurting, my shoulder, and my neck. And I was just like, that doesn't feel right. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so that doesn't feel right. And I was like, okay, what should I do? So I Google it, and I'm like, Google, if electrocuted, should you go to the emergency room? And it's like, yes, you should go to the emergency room. I'm like, oh, great. And then like I messaged my Korean friend, and she was like, oh my gosh, you have to go to the emergency room. You have to go get checked. You have to make sure you're okay. And I'm like, okay. So I went, and I'm glad I did go though, because on the page I read, a doctor said that, you know, no matter how big or small the electric shock is, that you should go to the emergency room, because that's how our body functions. Our body functions on little electric signals that are sent. So if being electrocuted, if it messes up your signal to some part of your body, it can mess up your brain, it can mess up your heart, which leads to death. That's mostly why I went. And then also it can like cause other problems, like your muscles not reacting properly. For me, it seems to have messed up the nerves in my shoulder and kind of like thrown my shoulder out of whack. So first I'll tell you about the actual visit. So we went that night. We had just like got dressed for bed, so that sucked. And I'm like, oh my gosh, let's get out of here, let's hurry, we gotta get to the emergency room. And my chest was hurting. As I said, my shoulder, chest, and neck. So I went, and I was like, my chest is hurting, I was electrocuted, blah, 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 blah. And they're just like, oh my gosh, okay, let's get you back here. So the guy is talking to me, he's like, okay, you're going to be here for a while. And I'm like, what? Why? He was like, okay, we have to do 3 checks to make sure you're okay and that your heart is okay because your chest is hurting. And he was like, this is just standard practice, so you probably won't leave until 6:30 or 7. So I messaged my supervisor, and I'm like, I may have to be late to work tomorrow. And she's like, huh? So then she calls me, and, I let her know everything that happened, and, all that. And so she decides to come because my daughter's with me, and I didn't have anyone else there, which is another thing I'm thinking about, because, like, I don't really have people here that I can just call and be like, hey, I'm at the hospital, can you come and, like, help with Lily? I have so many of those friends in Seoul, but, not really people here, not with a vehicle they can access, things like that. And so, that's something now I'm really thinking about, if there is an emergency with Lily, and I can't really get away, but, my friend can at least go, check on her or something, whatever, then that's where all those people are in Seoul. I have probably 15, 20 people I can call and try to get to help. So it's just like, I really have to consider that. So, yeah. But anyways, I had 3 EKGs there, and that's to check your heart to make sure it's functioning properly, like the rates are correctly. And then I had 3 blood tests, and that was just to make sure there was nothing that happened that affected my body, like internally. And so, as I said, I had to stay overnight. So we actually so my first EKG happened as soon as I got there, and then the next one happened about 11:50, and then the next one was in the morning at like 5:50 a.m. And along with that, there were blood tests in between. I had x-rays. I mean, they asked for a urine sample, but then they told me they didn't need it, so I have urine sample. Kind of weird. Yeah. So that's what happened, and then in total I paid like $80. So I paid Palmanon, which is like nothing, and I was like, come on. If Korea can do it, the U.S. can figure out a way to make our health care cheaper, less expensive. And I mean, I went to one of the best hospitals in our town, which is the Yonsei Severance Hospital. It's like the best one. And I went to the emergency room. That was an emergency room price, guys. And I looked at the like price without insurance. It was like $383. So some ship, what did I say? Paman samchanon. So $383. Like, that's great. Like people would actually be able to go to the doctor and get help in the States, like when they need it, if you know, it's affordable like that. So the first day they didn't give me any medicine, nothing. And then 2 days later I went back because they told me to come back if it wasn't okay. Thursday when I went to work, my job's just like, no, you're not working. You need to just rest. So you can go downstairs in the nurse's room and sleep or go home and rest. And I'm like, but I like slept like the first 2.5 periods because it literally wiped me out. Like I've been taking naps nearly every day because I'm still not, like I still don't have like my full energy back. Like it just like wiped me out. And like I feel like I started my workout back Thursday this week, or I guess I should say last week now because it's Monday last week. And so I guess it was 2 weeks ago then. And I just started my workouts back Thursday, and like my chest, you know, it's hard, and you know, sometimes it feels more challenging to breathe, but I'm like, okay, it's because I didn't work out for a week, that's what's going on. But no, just going up the stairs, sometimes my, like it will hurt a little bit, like, but they said it was the muscle. That's what they told me the second day. They were like, oh no, we think it's the muscle that's affected. So I had test again, and the second day was from like 6 until like 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m., something like that. And so they did EKGs, they did blood test again. I was in the bed, and I really, Lily, please stop. Please stop. I'm talking. Didn't I ask you to stop? Didn't I ask you to stop? Don't do it again. That's not nice, okay? No. You can do that out there in the living room, okay? So, little miss is trying to get a pop today. So, are you kidding me right now? So, like, it was hilarious there, guys. It was like a literal K-drama. Like, I really want to tell you all the stories of what went on in there and the people that were there too. I mean, overnight, late night in an emergency room, you can imagine what, like, there were some real K-drama-esque things that happened, and I think I will make a video. If you want me to make a video about the like, whatever, like, everything that went on, let me know in the comments, and I will. So, they gave me medicine that second visit, pain medicine, and an antibiotic, like, anti-inflammatory stuff. And then, I went back again on Wednesday, last Wednesday, because I felt like my arm was broken. Like, my arm just started hurting, like, Sunday. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, it's so painful. And, I went back. That was after the medicine was done. So I went back and I was like, my arm. Like, I don't know what's going on, but my arm is really hurting. And it feels like it's broken. And they're like, well, it seems like it may have caused nerve damage to your arms and blah, blah, blah. But we have 50 people waiting to be admitted. So you need to go to another emergency room, or you need to just wait till the next day and see a specialist. And I'm like, are you kidding me? No, thank you. So I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to go home. Actually, I think that was Tuesday. It was either Monday or Tuesday night. And I was like, forget it. We're just going to go home. So I came home, and I was, like, playing with Lily. And we were on the bed. And then my arm, like, it flew back, like, up and flew back. And then I just had a loud pop. And it was just so painful. And I was just like, yeah, it scared me at that time. And it was really painful. But my arm's been feeling better since then, but it's not better. Not completely, like, functional. Like, functioning the way it should be. And, like, I started my workouts back last Thursday because that was exactly a week from when it happened. And, I was able to do most of my workouts, but not everything, because it was so painful. And also, it was kind of painful for me to breathe sometimes. And I was like, okay, like, but it wasn't, like, my heart, but, like, my chest cavity, I guess I should say. But it was causing pain, you know, but when you feel pain in certain areas, it feels like it's hard for you to breathe. So I don't really know, but, you know, the pharmacist that speaks English really well in my town, he was like, you're probably going to need physical therapy, you know, for something like that if it feels that way. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I don't want to go through that. I said, I'm just going to look up physical therapy techniques online and see what I can find, or go get some acupuncture or something and go from there, because, you know, I don't have time to keep spending time. Like, I don't have time to spend the time at a hospital, time to spend the time, you know, or the money at these special places. Even though it's like way less expensive, you don't want to spend that kind of money on that. Like, that could have been, you know, like us eating at like a barbecue place. Okay, so yeah. But anyway, speaking of food, we gotta go eat. So I'm out of here. As I said, if you wanna hear those stories about the adventures in the hospital, let me know in the comments below. Also, guys, please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. You know, there's a lot of things going on with my channel. Hopefully, I will finally get these other things to you now that I can function a little bit better. And that's why the videos, like, stopped and got really, like, slowed down, was just being busy and, like, doing stuff for work and then getting electrocuted. So that's what happened, guys. If you wonder, like, wow, where's her videos? Like, that's what happened. So yeah, I'm trying to get back on this train, guys. Yay! But anyways, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can, well, not hear, but you can see when a new video is up. Until next time, guys. Annyeong. You want to say something?
Bye-bye.